Hi, this is Michael Waits, and welcome back to India Game Changer. We are joined by Amrit Sagar, the founder and managing director at Ercess Live. Did I say that right? Ercess?
Yes, Michael, that's Ercess. And thanks for introducing here.
It's my pleasure.
Glad to be here.
It's awesome to have you here. Before we get to the main part of this conversation, can we get some of your background for some context?
I'm an engineer by education, but an entrepreneur by profession as of now. I started my career as a computer engineer with one of the large conglomerate in India. Worked with different clients over there like Pepsi, Adidas, gained some experience, went out for an MBA with STA Bagoni, did a full-time MBA over there. Had some pretty great opportunity to work with Ferrari for one of their projects, worked with SAP, worked in a few incubators, startups over there, basically on their marketing side, building their products. And then during the COVID, came back to India, got stuck here, couldn't go back, and started my own gig here, which was anyway the long-term plan.
What was it like working with Ferrari?
I was just in the awe. Like I had a project over there for almost 3 months. I was in Milan for them, and mostly on the marketing and the branding side.
Yep.
And most of the time, always be on your thinking on your fit. Everything was about the branding, packaging, how to position yourself, how the whole luxury industry that works. Prior to that, like my understanding was it's all about automobile. In my experience, I learned over there, it's all about branding, positioning, and how you represent yourself.
You were in Milan. That must have been amazing to just be living, working in Milan, and then doing a project with Ferrari. I am envious. You said you were educated as an engineer, but you consider yourself an entrepreneur. Was this something you were always going to do? Like, tell me, what was it about the entrepreneurship life that made you feel like I need to be involved in this way?
This was not always the plan. Like as a regular Indian student or guy, what happens over here? Everyone completes their high education, enrolls in usually engineering, then they start planning their career. That's the way. That's the Indian way.
Right.
I think like till the 4 or 5 years back, that was the whole scenario over here.
Right.
Even when I started my work, entrepreneurship was not even in my mind anywhere. But when I went for my MBA and I met these like fabulous entrepreneurs, founders, even in my alma mater, I was meeting on a weekly basis with different executives who are building beautiful things in every sector, like either in ESG, either in automobile, in insurance, and that fascinated me. What else I can do in my career? And I started small over there. I started just conversing with a lot of founders, a lot of entrepreneurs, doing small projects on site, and then I found that I love that.
Yeah.
So that's how I think like I got the interest, and it's an ongoing journey.
Tell me about Ercess Live. Tell me what the market gap was that you were trying to fill, and about like what you saw, what you understood, and what you're trying to fix. What's the problem you're trying to fix here?
For with Ercess Live, actually, the whole journey started with I think in late 2021. I was back in India, and one thing which I could see was the super growth and the opportunity in terms of the creator economy. What we see over here, YouTube, it had changed the game. It had changed the whole marketing game. And like if I analyze the whole marketing industry, it changes every 5 to 7 years. Like if I remember prior to 2010 or something, it was all print media or the TV advertisement everywhere. Then the age of Facebook and Google ads came. And since last 4 5 years, I think the age of the creator, that's ongoing. And that's where like the SS Live came in. What we are doing over here, we are trying to organize and streamline this creator economy, because this whole creator ecosystem, it's not pretty much organized. It's very much chaotic.
Yeah.
Everyone on the creator side, that's not a formal setup, and that's not always a full time gig for everyone. Folks do it for hobby, folks do it part time. They just want to add value in terms of content and everything, and that's where Ercess Live is trying to streamline it. We are trying to organize the whole Indian creator economy, trying to develop KPI matrices for which the whole marketing initiative could be measured, could be more impactful for our brands. That's what we are doing right now, and like over the period of time, we do have plans over here to integrate more of the tech side, either in using the AI or using analytics platform, whatever fits best given the scenario, because the industry it's changing quite fast. I believe the Moore's law still holds true. Everything is changing in 2.5 years. The whole scenario changes.
I want to dig deeper into this thing you said about YouTube, right? And I want to make an analogy. When Apple came out with the iPhone in, what was it, 2007, and it started to build
Yeah.
this kind of smartphone market, it created this sort of economic umbrella over the phone market. And what does
Yeah.
that mean? It meant that essentially they were up here and they left all this room underneath themselves for other people to do, like Oppo and all these other kind of companies, right? To make phones that kind of looked like iPhones and behaved like iPhones, but obviously were on Android. I want to make the case that Jimmy Donaldson, also known as Mr. Beast, who had, do you know this, 2 billion views last month for
Yeah.
the first time ever, has also created the same umbrella. So it wasn't an existing company that did it. It wasn't an existing network. It wasn't one of the big TV channels or one of the big news outlets that did this. It was a guy from Kansas who was born in 1998. He's 25 years old, but he's created this massive umbrella on YouTube. And I want to get a better understanding from your position what that means, what the future to you, I can tell you my opinion because I do have an opinion on this, of YouTube looks like and what it means for creators.
YouTube, like when we think it in terms of an umbrella or ecosystem, one of the core thing or one of the core strength that YouTube has is that its parent company is Google, and Google has a dominance on the search engine monopoly.
On search, yeah. Fundamentally, YouTube is a search engine, yes?
Yes, yes. Actually, it's a search engine for all the digital content. And even if you like try to find the same with the same keywords on the Google search as well, it will open the YouTube links for you.
Yeah.
So YouTube, the strength, as I was saying, the core strength of YouTube is its Google search engine, which gives it a sort of monopoly, in my view, in terms of the content, long version content, whatever we are having over here. Because when I analyze the market today, I have been working with a lot of content creation platforms. Just in last couple of years, more than 1,800 to 2,000 different platforms, streaming platforms, or the content platforms have been launched. Either it's Max Chakatak in India or Chingari, you name it, you will find a number of platforms for the creators over there. But still, they are not able to take on the YouTube or just get the creators out of the YouTube. I don't think apart from TikTok and even they have been able to do that in terms of just a short video format. So YouTube it provides a sort of like 360-degree ecosystem for creators. I don't see that any platform is gonna take on YouTube at least in next couple of years. What I find, at least in the Indian market, that's what I have been feeling, and even from the brand's perspective, because all these platforms they are making revenue based on the advertisement or the influence what they are getting over there.
Let's be specific about what are the problems that you're trying to solve for content creators, and then how do you help them make money as well as you solve those problems?
Yeah, we are trying to solve this problem. Basically two problems for the content creators. First is the discovery of creators by the right set of brands, like who fall in their TG, who understand the creators' content, what their likes are, what their audience likes are. So first is mapping of creators. The second part, we are helping creators monetize their content, because if they work with themselves, they are not much discoverable. Using our platforms and using our network, what we are able to do right now, we are able to get each of our creators around 8 to 10 gigs a month with different brands. Most of the each collaborations are long-term collaborations where we try to make these creators the face of the brand, at least for 6 months to 9 months,
Really?
so that Yeah, so that they can have a continuity in their content, whatever they are creating, the experience they are generating through those, and even the brands to have great stories to tell about it.
How do the creators get paid? Do they get paid for each content that they have? Do they get paid like an affiliate? So if they actually get click throughs to the products, like how does that work?
They are paid directly through brands. They do have direct brand contracts for 8 to 9 months. Affiliates are one way to go, but we don't work on the affiliates because we haven't seen great returns for even our creators or brands in that part.
Right.
But through this, they get a contract for 6 to 9 months and they keep on working for different set of stories for brands.
So talk to me again about this discoverability on the platform. Like, let's just take a big brand like Coca-Cola. I'm just making it up. I don't even know if they're on your platform. Let's say Coca-Cola wants someone to do some type of work for them, some type of influencer work, some type of content creation work for them. What do? They come to the platform, use it like a search engine. How do the content creators get rated? How do we know if they're good, bad, or indifferent? Does anybody ever get kicked off the platform? Just walk me through like what that experience is like.
There's a whole set of process over here. So let me take you through the journey from the brand perspective, how it happens. So once Coca-Cola gets onboarded on our platform, they first sit with our brand strategists to finalize what type of campaigns or what type of storylines they do have in mind.
Right.
So once that part is finalized, we do find some synergy over there, and then we start looking for the creators. There's one thing which is very important in the creators economy, that any data which is not current, that's pretty irrelevant even for brands. Like I'll give you an example over here. Suppose I'm a creator and today I am creating content on lifestyle or education,
Right.
and might 6 months later, my genre might change. I might be creating content on fitness. So the current set of data for the creators, that's always the key. So what happens from the brand perspective when they do have everything finalized in terms of the brief, in terms of the campaign stories, then we start looking for the creators. We bring them to our platforms. Our platform do have updated data up to like 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, we update our whole database, and we try to find the right fit of creators over here based on the budget of the brand, like what they are willing to pay. If Coca-Cola is willing to pay around $1,000 for 5 content over there, we help them try to find the creators in that budget range. We reach out to those creators on behalf of brand, align them with brand, get the contents created, get the content quality verified from the brands, and then the story goes live. After that, the platform analytics tools to measure all the engagement over there from the creator side, how the content is performing on different platforms, whether it's on Instagram or YouTube or any other social media platform, and then over the period of time, the whole campaign ROI or the whole campaign metrics is measured. That defines the success of the campaign, like what we got over there, what engagement was over there.
Can you talk about the specific data points that you look at that are the most important, right? In other words, if these 5 data points are showing some kind of traction, what would they be? And then how do you sell that to the brands?
One of the key data point which we work upon is the CPV. That's the cost per view. Whether you are a creator with 5 million followers or 10 million followers, that doesn't mean anything until and unless your content is getting views. So even if you do have, on the other hand as well, like if you just do have 10,000 followers, but your view is going in millions, that means something. So one of the key data point is the CPV. That's the first and foremost.
Okay.
The second part is always the engagements from your viewers. If viewers are not engaging with you, that is they are commenting or they are liking your content, they are resharing, reposting, then the content, okay, it will have views, but it doesn't influence your viewers, or they don't like the content so much that they save it or they reshare it. One of the major point for like these data points is that because in this creator economy or in this whole platform, there's a whole lot of bot profiles as well. Like we do have very much fake views. There's a whole bot army over there who will sell views, who will sell engagements over there. So
Yes.
we as platform, we need to make sure that like we take care of these things. We are able to weed out these sort of creators or these sort of views which doesn't add any value to the brands. And at the end of the day, in our opinion, personally, what I believe, influencer marketing or the creator economy, it's not all about sales. It's mostly about branding, telling you a story, influencing. It's a long term game. It's not just that sort of affiliate that I measure everything in terms of the sales. But the ROI over here, they are intangible. They are mostly the brand building, storage, how we recall things, and how we are engaging over there.
There's a bunch of questions here, but does Ercess Live actually train some of the influencers or give them advice or give them a plan for how to market the content they're creating? Or do you leave that all up to them? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's part of your business to create this section inside of Ercess Live that says, if you want to be a creator, we'll teach you how to do that as well. And then we'll connect you to the brands. Or are you just going after existing people that are already creating great content?
We are not training or making anyone creators, but what we are doing differently over here, like we do have one more vertical in Ercess, that is for the artist management vertical. Creators who want to transition to a full-time creator gig.
Right.
They want to be influencers. We do have dedicated contracts with them where we try to manage their content, manage we don't tell them what to create or something, but the quality of the content in terms of like what their audience want to listen or what's trending, even in terms of the aesthetic quality. We help them with that. Apart from that, we try to help them build their long time branding as well. Because as a creator, if you don't work on your story right, you are going to be lost. It's a very big economy. So through our artist management vertical, we do have dedicated set of creators who work through us only, and all of their content, all of their the business part, the contracts, everything that goes through us. But yeah, we are not training anyone from scratch to become a creator or influencer. Because I personally believe the creator economy or the influencing part, that should be organic until and unless it comes from within you or you don't have a story to tell, and everyone has a unique style of telling story. If it's trainable, then it's pretty much scripted.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing I was going to ask you next, right? Do you see a situation where just like movie studios get scripts, train people how to act, there are acting schools, you know, in India, there are acting schools in New York, there are acting schools in LA. Do you see a place where people can actually train people to be influencers and then manage them almost like they manage a movie studio?
I highly suspect that one key reason for that, which I believe is the audience is pretty smart today. We are consuming content like anything. We do have cheap access to data. We do have cheap access to content, and audience is becoming more and more what we can say intelligent in terms of understanding like what is organic, what is scripted, what is acting. I don't think in terms of scale it is going to be pretty viable to train someone to act or to create such type of content which is very much scripted and get attraction
Okay.
compared to the organic ones.
Again, I think it's a moving target. I'm not really sure what's going to happen, but I do think that the audiences are getting really smart. Do you feel like this is really going to replace like mainstream advertising, right? Because I feel like people less and less watch commercials, and I put that in quotes, and are more influenced by the people that are creating content online and saying, I'm going to buy that thing and I'm never going to watch that commercial. Do you think over time that like ad agencies and stuff like that are just going to get smaller and smaller? They're never going to go away, right? But they're just going to get smaller, no?
Certainly, we did a survey a couple of months back trying to understand like how the influencer marketing or the organic content that's impacting the budget of the TV advertisement or the print advertisement. And what we found, like we did a survey with almost 80 of our brands, like who were on our platform at that point of time. And what we found that just in last 3 to 4 quarters, their advertisement budget is shifting most from the TV advertisement and others to the content marketing.
Yeah.
It need not be influencer marketing, but more on the content side, whether it's a textual content, animated, influencer, organic. or anything which is more engaging compared to any TV commercials. And even from my experience and what I see in my home, like no one watches ads anymore, even if it comes between India-Pakistan cricket match, like we did had that day before yesterday. And whenever there was a commercial coming, my nephew, he was just changing the channels to see something else. So yeah, I think the mainstream commercials that is on decline. I can't say it's dead, but that is on decline. Very few people are engaging over there.
This is my big question for you, right? Because I think that there's a massive opportunity here. In 2022, Procter and Gamble, one of the biggest like consumer goods advertising companies in the world, spent just in the United States alone over $5 billion on advertising. That money's not going
Okay.
to go away, but I do feel like it's going to have to move. Do you feel like that the opportunity that you're building into is that big? Are you trying to take some of this money away?
Totally over there. Or just in India, I'll tell you the numbers. I haven't seen the global numbers too much, but in like I do analyze the Indian market, and I
Right.
see just in last 2 years, the creator economy that has grown by more than 170 to 180%. I have seen personally in my clients' budgets, like when they started with us, they started with around 10,000 euros budget with us on a monthly basis, and now they are spending around 40 to 50,000 euro with us. Oh, that's an increase of just 400 to 500% just over a period of 2 to 3 quarters.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing this not just for the new age startup brands, like they're most of the D2C who are getting funds, who are trying to expand further, but from the traditional business houses as well. Like we do have Tata Group as our clients,
Yep.
and they are spending around more than 10 or 15 millions per month in terms of the influencer or the creator marketing budget, and that is increasing. That is ever increasing.
Yeah. So I mean, I agree with you. I think those numbers are just going to keep getting higher and higher. Do you do any vetting of the creators that sit on your platform, if you know what I mean? Or can anybody just sign up and then it's up to the platform to kind of rate them and spit them out?
Yeah, anyone can sign up on our platform. That's true. But to get reflected on the platform, they need to get vetted. They need to get vetted on their content, what type of content, if they have ever like shared explicit or abusive content or anything which is not in line with the community guidelines,
Sure.
which we do follow. We don't onboard them. They are on board. It's rejected. But yeah, anyone can apply. Our internal team vets their content, vets their engagement. As I told earlier, that there is a menace of fake creators like who do have bot followers, bot engagement. We do need to weed them out to keep quality creators to our client.
Yeah.
So
Do you have your own studios? Do you create your own content as well? And if not, why not?
not yet, not yet. We do have that in plan. We do have our partner studio where some of the contents are created, but we are planning to do that in next couple of quarters. But right now, no.
Okay. If you need some help with that, let me know. I can definitely help you on the studio side and the content creation side.
So
Yeah. What is your business plan? Are you just taking a commission from all the stuff that gets paid on the platform? And like, do you handle the payments as well? So your creators get paid directly or through your platform? Like, how does that work as well?
creators get paid through us, like because we do have to make money over there,
Yep.
and just commission and commission from the both side. That is our bloodline. All the payments goes through us, whether from the client side, whether from the creator side. We try to be as transparent as possible in that and compliant to the all taxes. But yeah, there's no direct transactions.
Right. Here's one of the reasons why I asked this. In my mind, like every company like yours that's building a platform, and I'm wondering if you've thought about this, right? If you've got big brands on one side, right? How many brands do you say you have on the platform?
I do have 80 plus brands right now.
Yeah, that's a lot of brands, right? So, and then on the other side, how many creators do you have?
More than 200K.
More than 200,000 creators.
Yes.
Okay, so just think about the audience that you have. And I just mean the people that are on the platform, right? Do you ever
Yeah.
consider the fact that Ercess Live is also kind of masquerading as a fintech? Because you're handling all these payments, you're paying people every month, right? And potentially 200,000 people a month. They're trusting you with their money. you're already acting kind of like a fintech, not like a bank per se, right? Do you ever consider adding other services to those creators so that then they can get insurance through you and do other things through you so that it's this one contained platform?
Honestly speaking, like before you just mentioned it, I never thought in that perspective that yeah, we do have processes of fintech. Like we are doing a lot of payment processing through us, but haven't really thought in that way. Maybe in future we might give it a thought, but yeah, one of the core thing in the fintech is that it is pretty much very regulated. It's a very regulated industry in India.
Yeah.
So might be in future that could be a good idea to expand. And thanks for that suggestion.
Sorry. Here's a suggestion, Amrit.
Yeah,
You work with a regulated insurer, right? And you
yeah.
create a product that does this. If the creator pays a little bit of money in premium, if their
Mhm.
contract gets canceled with one of their brands for some reason, it could be COVID, it could be anything, right? It could be, a natural disaster, they still get paid because the insurance company pays out. It's a really simple product, but it could create real great traction on your platform. And you're not the regulated entity. The insurance company is the regulated entity, right? So you just co-create these products with them. And my guess is that the more you interact with your creators, and there will be more of them, like we said, this whole thing is going to take over the advertising business. I'm convinced of it. I do the same thing, and I'm pretty convinced that my target is to take ad revenue away from ad agencies because I don't think they're relevant anymore. But if you have all these creators on the platform, you can offer them all these products as well. And that's a cool distribution platform that you're building. Just an idea.
And this is actually pretty interesting because in terms of the insurance, like to be very frank and honest, even the Indian insurance industry that's pretty much fragmented. Like its potential has not even been utilized up to I think five
At
to
all.
10%. So yeah, this is a great idea. We'll try to implement it even with the pilot, and I'll update you like how it goes.
You should, but it's another way for your firm to become this one gigantic ecosystem of content, advertising, influence, and fintech all in the same place. And your creators are your clients for multiple products. And if they trust you to get them brand deals, they should also trust you to get them some financial services that go along inside that ecosystem of the brand deal. Anyway, just my opinion. Can you talk to me a little bit about the challenges of being an entrepreneur in India? Like what you've actually learned during this journey about building a business from scratch?
Entrepreneurship, I believe it's never simple. Whether you're in India, whether you are in Germany, whether you are in Italy, it takes. I believe like it takes sweat and blood. When I talk from the India per se, the entrepreneurship it's sort of what I can say a booming trend right now in India.
Yep.
A lot of entrepreneurs are coming. A lot of my colleagues, my juniors whom I know, they are leaving their full-time jobs and coming to build something of their own, whether it's their unique idea or some problem they see they are trying to solve over here. The challenge is what I see in India, a few first stage in terms of regulations. A lot of verticals, a lot of industry are pretty much regulated in India, which
Okay.
needs to be opened a bit for entrepreneurs to at least test, try, launch, and get initial traction or at least validate their POC in terms of the product.
Right.
But that is not very easy in India, right? One of the example I can give you that is in terms of the agri-tech. India has been traditionally an agricultural dominant country.
Right.
I believe like it becomes logical and natural that most of the startups or a big section of the startups should be in the agri-tech. There's a lot of huge opportunity, but there are so many bureaucratic hurdles, there are so many policy hurdles over here that we see just a very few numbers of entrepreneurs working in the agricultural sector compared to what we see in the different segments. So yeah, it's a bit tough right now, but things are opening. Government policies are changing gradually, but still, there's a lot of distance to cover over here.
And how does the funding landscape look like to you this year as we head into the end of 2023?
Since last quarter, I see things looking up. Just because we are a bootstrapped startup,
Right.
we haven't raised fund or it doesn't fall in our plan even now. But in terms of the funding landscape, I think 20 mid of 2022 till mid of 2023, that was a funding winter even in India. Investors are pretty skeptical. Fund houses are not giving easy money how it was raised earlier. But yeah, now since last quarter, I am seeing things opening up. A lot of deals are in market. Even I have been investing a little bit myself in different startups, and I see that viable business models, just not in terms of the blitz scaling or a viable and profitable business models are emerging, and the fundings are opening. I hope like at least in next quarter, it will come back to 2019 2020 numbers. I believe that.
I think the funding is going to return, but I do agree with you in the sense that I think the funding is going to look for companies that have a real path to profitability. I don't think they're
Yes.
looking for people to blitz scale anymore. I don't think it makes sense because I think it's just an easy way to lose money and not a great way to make money. If you're in business, you should be in business to make a profit. I presume you're profitable, yes?
Yes, we are profitable.
You'd have to be with all that activity.
Yeah, we are profitable. Our business model is pretty much we are it's pretty much straightforward. We are not dependent on the bliss scaling or just the customer recurrence over there. We do have recurring revenue from our existing brands, and most of our profit comes just from the retention.
Do you have a data science team as well? As your company continues to grow, the amount of data that you're going to be able to analyze is just going to grow exponentially, right? So do you think about building a data science team in the future? Do you have one now? And do you already do some of your own data analytics at scale?
We don't have a data science team right now, but me and my founder, we are both from the computer engineering background. So
Right.
like we have a bit of understanding of the data analytics. We have used those in our previous work life when we were engineers, and we are able to analyze a bit of data on ourselves using most of the tools. But yeah, our data is going to be crucial. I personally believe we are losing a bit by not consuming all these data or
Yeah.
analyzing and driving more value from that. But right now, we don't have in our plan for any data science team, at least for this financial year. Maybe in next, we might start building some data models and onboarding data engineers over there to organize and crunch more of our data.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, you're just going to have to do that.
Yes.
Before I let you go, are there any other sort of MarTech trends that you see or that you envision happening that we haven't discussed already?
At least not just in the marketing, but in the technology itself.
Go ahead.
I see that even the marketing industry, it's changing very fast. When we were talking about influencer marketing a couple of years back, that
Right.
is the thing. Today we are talking about the creator economy or the creator marketing. It's not just the influencer marketing, but more of the creator marketing. I believe like with the advent of the AI or the you or the creation or the use of more of the conversational or generative AI, new types of marketing tools or the marketing segments are gonna crop up. Whether that might be creating virtual avatars who can create content on their own, can have their own persona, no one managing it from themselves, using just the power of conversational AI or the generative AI.
Right. Do you look at expansion outside of India, or you're sitting there thinking, for now at least, the Indian market is just so large that I don't need to expand yet? But I mean, if you look at United States, right, North America, Southeast Asia, there's a massive content creation economy already getting built there as well. Do you think about expanding outside too?
We do have a bit of presence in Middle East right now, and
Okay.
but apart from that, we don't have much presence somewhere else. But yeah, we do have plans to expand, starting with Asia. Not too keen on Europe or US right now, because that I like from our analysis, what I we have found that that market is already very much saturated, and India is a growing economy. A lot of companies are spending a lot of money over here.
Right.
We would be lucky that if we capture a big pie over here compared to just venturing outside and trying our luck over there.
Got it. Okay. I'm going to let you go. This was awesome. I really learned a lot. I'd love to have you come back on the show as you continue to grow and as the sort of trends that you're seeing change. I'm in this market, so I'm super curious about what's happening. Amrit, Sagar, the founder and managing director at Ercess Live, thank you so much for doing this today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Michael. Really appreciate this call.